Right, let's move on Talk Radio 702 567 Cape Talk. This is the Midday Report. Are you planning an expedition across Africa? Well, chances are that if your thoughts are running that way, you have something large and 4x4-ish penciled in with words like Toyota Land Cruiser or Land Rover Defender or something equally chunky from Nissan, Jeep going through your mind. Chances are also that the car most emphatically not on your list would be the small inner-city runaround from Mercedes called the Smart Car. Well, there's no accounting for taste. We're joined now by a young man called Brett Wild. He's a South African filmmaker. He's on the line from Johannesburg, and he is about to embark on just such an expedition in a smart car. Brett Wild, good afternoon to you and welcome. My first question is the obvious one. Why?
Well, you know, these things do tend to kind of seem like a really good idea and perhaps a bit of a joke at the beginning of these things. And then I guess we're sitting in a point now where we're thinking it's actually possibly the most ridiculous idea we've had in a long time. But it would be great to do something like change people's perceptions of, like you say, you know, we're all stuck in a certain place where we want to use 4x4ing and big vehicles, and perhaps if we can do this, you know, people will be more receptive to the little car.
But, I mean, isn't this a recipe for disaster? The first drop of rain, a little puddle of mud, I mean, a decent pothole. Some of the bigger potholes in some parts of Africa would simply swallow your smart car. No one would notice. Archaeologists find your remains in 10,000 years' time and wonder what happened.
Well, it's an interesting way to go, don't you think? I mean, you know, but the car has had a lot of practice in the Bryanston and Sandton area for potholes and stuff like that, and it's managed to survive. I think it should do fine on those roads, you know.
Now, is it just yourself, or are you taking along 30 of your closest friends all jammed into this little thing?
Yes, a lot of my friends will be coming with. I'm going to cut it down to two chaps. One chap's by the name of Anton Krohn, and then Blink Stefanus, who's just ahead. That's all he is, and he's going to be coming with us as well. And he's the guy who's going to have all the ideas as to how we actually get out of the situation. I guess that's it. That's the bunch. We're going to go.
What about support? What about support vehicles and this is important. The ability to get support for the smart car along the road.
Well, I think that's one of the things that we're going to learn is how to get support out of the people that we meet. You know, I think that it's one of the great learnings that we're going to get is to obviously be a lot kinder along the way. Talk to people. The whole idea is to meet a lot of people along the way that have done a lot in terms of the small things that they've done in communities. So we're going to keep them close to us. I mean, the idea really is to bring back those stories. You know, I was just thinking the other night there was an advert for the E! News on television, and it just advertised burning people and explosions, and I just thought perhaps what we could do is bring back better stories, you know. So instead of tuning into the news, tune into us, and we're going to be putting up a story like every day on the blog. And that should just try and change people's perceptions as to where we're at, you know.
Brett, anyone wants to follow this remarkable trip, where would they find the details?
They're going to find it on Smart in Africa, the www.smartinafrica.co.za.
And how long do you reckon the trip will take?
We're planning on between 4 weeks and 3 years, but I'm going to go for the 4 weeks. Because otherwise my wife's going to absolutely divorce me. So we have to get back here really quickly. But we're going to get as far as the Serengeti, do a nice couple of shoots out there, because I think it's really great to sort of, you know, instead of having a fat Land Rover on the plains of the Serengeti, to have this little car going ding, 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 kind of across, you know. I like that picture. I think it's funny.
I look forward to seeing it when you return safely with it. Brett Wild, South African filmmaker, about to embark on a cross-Africa expedition in a Mercedes-Benz smart car. All I can say is good luck. This is the Midday Report.